Heather Wildrick Coleman here from Firefly Community Partners for Child Safety. This month, we're going to be talking to you about water safety. So, one thing we want to make sure that you know as it relates to water safety is water safety goes above and beyond just when we're talking about swimming in pools and things like that. But we do want to make sure you are thinking about those because those are important as well. But when we're thinking about water safety, we're thinking about water toys that our toddlers and young children might be playing with. We're thinking about buckets of water that we might be using for watering flowers, mopping floors, cleaning all sorts buckets that have retained water after all the rain showers. We're thinking about toilets. We're thinking about bathtubs. We're thinking about swimming pools, of course. We're thinking about retention ponds and ditches and things like that that are often found in many of our residential neighborhoods. And we're talking about creeks, streams, all these different bodies of water. Some water safety facts that are really important for us to consider and think about as we're educating our families and being aware and spreading water safety information in our community is that drowning can happen in seconds to anyone, regardless of their age. It also is regardless of their ability and know how to swim. We want folks to know how to swim. That's a definite protective strategy, but it is not the end all be all to prevent this. Drowning is silent. It is a leading cause of death for children under the age of 5. Nearly 4,000 people every year die from drowning in the US. That's nearly 11 deaths per day. And we want folks to know that protection is key. So learning to swim, supervising folks always, our kiddos that are in water and around water. We want life jackets to be available and be worn by folks. Pole fencing and barriers do matter. We want folks to have folks on site and on hand that know CPR and reach or throw, don't go, let someone know. Those are important strategies as well. You may or may not be able to see it on your screen, but it also says make sure to learn to swim and learn CPR. All right. So what are we talking about when we talk about water safety? Summer water safety should be, as it's getting warm, we're nearing Memorial Day. May is National Water Safety Month. I believe May 15th even might be National Water Safety Day. Um, we want water safety to be the top of our mind all year round, even during the winter months when ponds are frozen and sometimes even when pools are closed, pool covers, things like that. It can still be a safety hazard. But when those summer months come along and the pools are open, we want to make sure we're having conversations about water safety. So it only takes seconds for drowning to happen. So we want to make sure that there is a water watcher designated. That person is the person that's not going to be on their phone, not going to be visiting and catching up with their friend, their neighbor, whomever. Their sole responsibility is to be that water watcher. So supervising children at all times in and around water, making sure we have the right equipment to keep pools safe. All bodies of water, as a reminder, pose that potential hazard for children. So baby pools, water tables, lakes, creeks, neighborhood ponds, buckets of water, bathtubs, toilets, all those things. So there are water watcher badges that both Prevent Child Abuse Indiana give out, Firefly has given out in the past. Those can be available for purchase for pretty nominal cost on Amazon. But we want to make sure that folks are, when they wear that, they know this is the commitment I'm making to the children around me, around bodies of water. Do not let any children of any age ever be unattended around water. So as I stated earlier, drowning is one of the leading causes of death each year. So there are some easy tips we can do to keep kiddos safe. So never leave children swimming unattended. Drowning can occur in an inch or two of water and in seconds. Stay within an arm's length of small children in water to protect against rapid drowning. Warn children to never swim at a pool or beach alone and without a lifeguard or without adult supervision. Train children to swim at an early age. There are affordable swim classes available in most local communities. We'd be happy to talk through those various options and opportunities with families as needed. Teach children that swimming in a pool is very different than swimming in open water. Be certain that only qualified and undistracted adults are entrusted with supervising children in water. Always empty inflatable pools, baby pools, buckets, pails, bathtubs after every use. Personal flotation devices do not guarantee water safety. Neither do the little puddle jumpers and things like that. Something else we want to be mindful of is swimwear safety. You can see here, this is a great visual of the color of the swimsuit does matter. So different colors of swimsuits are going to be easier to be seen underwater, both in the pool, very different in a lake or in natural bodies of water. We're going to be thinking about different colors of swimsuits and the ability to see them. So the color of a swimsuit can greatly impact our visibility underwater. So neon colors, especially orange, is most visible in both pools and open water. For maximum visibility, we want to choose swimsuits that contrast with our surrounding environment. However, it's important to remember that even the most visible swimsuit cannot replace the importance of adult supervision. Designate a responsible adult to monitor. I'm going to keep reminding us that it's that water watcher. It's so crucial. It's so important. And make sure those folks are getting breaks. In your community, you have probably families that like to enjoy boating and lake time and things like that. Those are within short driving distance, whether it's Geist Reservoir, Saxony Lake, Lake Monroe. There's a lot of different opportunities to go and spend time in open water, Eagle Creek, etc. If we're heading to the lake to cool off this summer, be sure to use a U.S. Coastal Guard approved personal flotation device. A properly fitted life jacket is snug and comfortable and will not move above the chin or ears when we lift it at the shoulders. There's great opportunities too, like at Turkey Run State Park to canoe and different things like that. Wright River has spots where you can go tubing. So families do spend time in bodies of water outside of your typical pool. Did you know that 80% of people who drown in boating accidents weren't wearing a life jacket? Only swim in designated swim areas. So signs should be posted. We want to adhere to those and things like that. If we let our children swim in open water, it may be difficult for other boaters to see them. It also makes sure that you and your children don't dive into bodies of water because it's usually too dark just to see how far down the bottom really is. Always remember, throw, don't go. If you see someone struggling in the water, find a flotation device to throw at them. Never jump in to save someone because we could be pulled under too. Something else to be mindful of if you are getting on motorboats or around motorboats is that they do give off high amounts of carbon dioxide or carbon monoxide. I'm so sorry. There are many ways to protect our families from the dangers of carbon monoxide. So there are carbon monoxide detectors that are available for boats. They work a lot like smoke alarms in houses, and they can emit a loud noise to alert occupants of the boat. Ensure ensure proper ventilation. So that's important. Expect exhaust systems regularly. Avoid the transom, and we'll talk about what that is in a moment. Educate children and instruct them about the danger of and presence of carbon monoxide. Avoid idling vessels. Idling vessels are very prominent sources for high concentrations of carbon monoxide. We include this in our slide deck on water safety because we know that there's a mom really championing the education and the awareness to be spread around about this because her son actually passed away after a boat ride of carbon monoxide poisoning. They had no idea that that's what he was experiencing. And she's just really wanting to get the word out now about that so she can save other families and folks the tragedy of that. So this is the transom. It's essentially the back of the boat. You'll see the motors back there, all the things. Backseat riders are especially vulnerable at low speeds and in long no-wake zones. Carbon monoxide is colorless, odorless, tasteless. It's a gas. So it could come from the gas generator, cooking ranges, space and water heaters. It can really be found anywhere in and around the boat, including on back swim decks, platforms, and in the water around generator exhaust. So something to think about and be mindful of. This is the Firefly water safety video. I'm going to see if it'll open for me. We love our Firefly video. I want to make sure you have access to it. Keep in mind as well that you can scan on that QR code to get access to it. I want to let it play here for you. All right. Oh, so that is our water safety video. We loved sharing that video. We would love to have you to also share that video with others. So yeah, that is the water safety video. If you give me just a moment, I will get us back to the presentation. All right. So that's the QR code there. You can scan that QR code and it will take you to that link to share that. And we'll be sure to include that in our newsletter and on our bulletin boards and all the good stuff for this month as well. All right. This is the Indiana Department of Health. I'm going to now kind of be pivoting and sharing some great resources with you as it relates to water safety that we want to make sure you are aware of those. We also want to make sure that you are aware of other opportunities to really strengthen your kind of muscle, if you will, at the skill of being able to be aware of water safety resources and also just how you can obtain more information and also share this information with the families you serve, the community, etc. So Indiana Department of Health is a fantastic resource. They have a whole area in their family health data and fatality prevention area on their government website, their state website. And so if you follow the link and it's available in the resource section, you can access the whole landing page on Guide to Water Safety. We love this particular page because you can see it has a lot of great um, things that you can click around and explore and find out more about. For example, there's a lot of great information here about pool safety, home water safety, drowning prevention report, the WARN training, which I'll tell you about in shortly. You also can find out the water safety season toolkit. I'm sure they're going to be updating that to 2026 very soon. Drowning prevention toolkit, active supervision one pager, and activity sheets as well. So I highly encourage you to go check out Indiana Department of Health to find out more information from them about all these great things. Another landing page from the Indiana Department of Health is their prevention page. So if you click specifically on prevention, and I think if I click here, nope, I'm so sorry. So on this page, fatality review prevention, you click on the prevention tab, you go to prevention resources. You're going to see this first area, you're going to keep scrolling down. I want to quickly highlight though that on the top, for all the safety topics we talk about here at Firefly and at DCS and other spaces, these are some great resources and online websites that we want to make sure you are aware of that it relates to all of our variety of site safety topics. As you scroll down, they have a ton of great information and different clickable links. If you zoom down, if you scroll down, you'd eventually get to the drowning header. And when you click on that, we've got drowning prevention report, swimming safety tips, swim and water safety classes that are available, protect the ones you love, reality prevention and materials, national action plan for reducing drownings and injuries in kids. So I highly recommend you check out those websites. When you do click on those websites, you get the opportunity to join campaigns, to take an oath or take a pledge and things like that to be a water watcher. So really great information there. So Indiana Department of Health also has a fantastic training called WARN, and that stands for Water Awareness in Residential Neighborhoods. It's public, virtual, and it's a free training. The next opportunity to take this class is on June 10th at 2 p.m. So you can scan that QR code. You could also go to the Indiana Department of Health at those pages I kind of screenshot for you there, and you can also find information there or type in WARN under that area of the Indiana Department of Health's website, and you should be able to find more opportunities to take that class. The other thing I want to make sure I tell you about is Prevent Child Abuse Indiana. So as part of their Eyes on the Child campaign, water watching and water safety was part of that crucial campaign. For a very long time, they've been sharing information about water safety and the importance of that. So their upcoming training date is on May 20th at 12 p.m. And they also offer virtual online classes. And this is what they will take you through. You can kind of look through this. It's ideal for counselors, social service providers, parents, caregivers, community partners, educators, and early childhood professionals. It's through Microsoft Teams. There's a Sign Up Genius link you can access. I can send that to you. It is a free training. It takes you through a lot of great information and tips and tricks on how to keep safe with around water. They have another one happening on the 28th, so I want to make sure folks know about that. Another great resource we have been told about through a water safety champion that serves on our local Prevent Child Abuse Council is the Red Cross programs. So Red Cross, of course, does a lot of great things around CPR, first aid, all those things, and many of their classes do come with a cost, but their water safety classes are free. So that's another one to consider taking and exploring and learning more about. So folks can take their Ambassador for Water Safety course. That is a free course that helps folks help their community thrive by teaching kids and adults about water safety. There's also another water safety course for parents and caregivers to learn the basics about water safety. All these classes are free directly through American Red Cross. They also just have a lot of great information on their website about water safety, so definitely go and check them out. So I want to quickly now tell you about some resources. So you have already been learning about some great resources. You've got our Firefly Water Safety Video resource. You know that you can go to Indiana State Department of Health. You also can go to healthychildren.org, which is the American Academy of Pediatrics website, excuse me, and there is so much great, wonderful child safety information there, but they have great handouts that you can review in both English and Spanish with families. There's the link there regarding the Indiana State Department of Health's website. American Red Cross website is there too, and the link to PCANE's events and classes. Be sure to check out your newsletter this month for additional resources, and be sure to check out your bulletin boards in your safety stores. And we'll be sure to highlight some brochures and materials that are available from Red Wagon and from PCANE safety literature that is available in your safety stores. And we'll be including some additional printed materials in your safety stores as well. When you stop and think about what is available in your safety stores as it relates to water safety, we have several items you may or may not be thinking about that are safety items relating to water safety in your safety store. These safety items include items such as toilet locks, bathtub rubber duckies that tell the bath temperature. That keeps kiddos safe in water. We have the faucet cover because the faucet may become too hot or it could be a fall hazard. We have some other safety things as it relates to bath safety available in the safety store. If families are needing help and support beyond that, we kind of handle those things case by case basis as it relates to that. But definitely think about, we can make sure we get some water watcher badges in your safety stores as well. If you have families or anyone that's interested in having one of those, definitely let us know. But otherwise, I think that's it for the month. So if you have any additional questions, comments, concerns, do not ever hesitate to reach out to us. Let us know how we can help and support you talking about these important topics in your local communities. Firefly's here to partner, help, and support. Keep families and kids safe in our community. We'll see you next month for next month's safety topic. Take care, be well, and thank you for all the work you do in keeping our families and children safe. Bye-bye.